Oh, if only Portugal had marines. In fact, does Portugal have a flagship? Let's go and select Portugal. Because if they have their unique flagship, then they would be disembarking much quicker. Which is one of the reasons I want to play as Portugal one of these days. They do. Portuguese Fusiliers, here we go. Movement speed on and off ships, minus 66%. So that strategy I was talking about earlier, playing as England and beating up Spain, you could do that even better with Portugal. I'm guessing he freaked when he got the message that Portugal declared. Yeah, probably. That was Japan trying to start some sort of co-prosperity sphere. And they said, what could possibly go wrong with that? Well, it looks like Japan and Iran are now working together, so maybe Iran's going to be interested in Portugal doing this. Although I would consider Indonesia to be a little bit out of their sphere of influence. Malacca fighting against the Portuguese fleet. Well, this is just the transport fleet, getting sunk horribly. Malacca never really had the opportunity to build up their fleet after it was defeated by the Portuguese. And Portugal was shown up with 72 ships, so 23 of which are heavies. I don't think they really stood a chance. What's Malacca's tech? 12, 13, 12, so they are behind in military. And actually they're ahead in Diplo. So at sea they would have had parity, if not a slight superiority. Except for the fact that Portugal... Actually no, Portugal has no naval ideas, do they? It's all about expansion and trade. They do have naval ideas itself, which would help. Malacca, what did you have? Exploration, quality, and maritime. I mean, they had quality, which would have helped at sea as well. Not as much as naval, admittedly. But this would have been a much closer fight than you may have expected. In Malacca's defense, their fleet did do better than the Papal States against England. Yeah, that's true. Japan's at war with Malacca as well. Yeah. The vultures are very well and truly circling here. Malacca's gone.
Hello.
Hello. What's up, Val?
So, have you noticed anything?
Well, I'm noticing that Malacca's dying right now, but I'm guessing you mean something else.
Oh. I got made an elector and I formed Great Britain.
Aha! Yes, there was some speculation in chat earlier as to why you had not yet done that. And we were guessing that was the reason.
Because I'm in the HRE.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, who did you replace?
Oh, as a great power, or...?
No, as a elector.
Oh, Saxony.
So, Saxony dead? Saxony dead.
Saxony dead.
Because I remember when Saxony was one of the potential nations that a player could join if they wanted to join the multiplayer. I guess that's no longer the case. So yeah, Great Britain
I mean, I don't
formed.
think it was ever a case. Like...
It would have been difficult. It would have been possible, but difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are the plans for Great Britain from this point?
Oh, I still want to get Gibraltar.
Oh, we'll be looking forward to that. Round 2.
Yeah, I think you'll see a big war with Spain soon.
Looking forward to it. Who are the allies? Let's take a look. Britain currently allied with Inca. Spain currently allied with... Oops, keep clicking on countries when I don't mean to. France and Portugal. And...
All you need is an Inca.
Well, I will point out that Portugal is currently involved in a war, so they might be slightly busy.
No. They're not in a war.
No, they just peaced out. What did they take? Oh, they took... Okay. That happened. And Pasai. Malacca
That means
reduced...
all of their troops are off in Indonesia, right?
Well, I don't want to say anything, but Malacca are now down to just 3 provinces. Oh no, 6.
Oof.
So if you want to go and scheme with your potential allies in this, I will let you go. And I'm expecting that Inca will want to join this as well, because there's definitely some tensions between the Incan and Spanish colonies.
Oh, yes. Alright, well, see ya.
Yep, thanks for letting us know about Great Britain. That's definitely an achievement that we were looking out for. A milestone. Is Great Britain still a republic? I don't think it changes the government. Yep, there's still a pirate republic. It just gives you new ideas, which are really quite nice. So they've got morale of navies plus 20, heavy ship combat plus 15, yearly naval tradition plus 1. I wonder what the theme here is. I'm not really seeing a theme for Great Britain. Diplomatic annexation minus 15, number of states plus 3, global settler plus 20, tariffs plus 15, tech minus 5, discipline plus 5. Is that codes? No, reforms of commission buying. Interesting. Global goods produced plus 20, which is really strong, especially if you have Merchant Republic mechanics. That's just going to compound that even more and potentially earn you an absolute boatload of money. Give me a second, Mean Wolf. Naval leader plus 1 and then blockade efficiency plus 33. Hello!
Hello, this was Malacca. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I saw the end, and it was grisly.
I could have gone further with the game. Peace out, wait, being killed,
Hey, guys.
build. So,
So
for
what's
me,
the
it's
plan?
game over.
Yeah, Malika's dead.
Are we
Yeah,
gonna let them rejoin now, or waiting for next session for that?
I think we should probably wait for next session when we know
Okay.
how things stand, if that's okay.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
Finland's looking for a new good player.
Have a
I
word
It's
could
with
join.
already
Helson.
Finland.
I could join as Finland, it's no problem.
Have a word with Helson, see if we can work something out. Because the number of nations which are still viable is...
I had
shrinking.
also offered to play as Jerusalem and Texas and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, so
I'll talk to Helson.
Yep.
You want to move? Oh.
Okay, I'll head out now.
Yep, cool, thanks. So there we go. We have had our first full player annexation. We've had players already die. Jumper, I think, was first. I feel like we've had... no. Manchu was first. Then Jumper, and I think Malika is now third. So actually, I need to put a note next to them to say that that's happened. Scores on the doors. And then that was Malika. Mean Wolf, minus 10, being defeated. So the rules are every player will lose 10 points if they change country. If they are defeated and knocked out, they are free to switch to another country and continue playing and continue generating scores, but they do lose points for doing it. So Ottomans, for example, would actually be even further ahead than they are currently, except for the fact that the Ottoman player was Manchu. And Manchu was defeated, and then they moved to the Ottomans because the Ottomans were free.
Mordred, he is going to join as Finland just so he has something to play that won't, get eaten within a.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, so we're going to have replacing Finland. Finland was previously played by another player as a march under Russia, so nothing really lost or gained there.
Hey, sorry.
Hello.
So Meadwolf has sent me a request to join in. I assume we're doing that now then? That's
yeah,
fine?
he's joining in as Finland, that's fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem. Did you notice my war, by the way?
I did, going after... you actually won it.
Yes.
Batamandri, so we've got another victory point controlled.
I figured it was time the Emperor didn't have -1 points.
Yes, I'm actually a little bit surprised that you're not higher up on the scoreboard.
I mean, it's not my fault. Not my problem that your goals are mean and don't favor Austria very much. Gee.
I tried to keep it balanced. You could have been going, like, building Vienna into this wondrous city of wonder.
With what monarch points? I need them for integrating people.
Oh, whose
And
problem
I
is that,
needed my
then?
relations slots. Me for playing such a great Empire game, obviously. You're welcome.
True.
Jesus. How much fun would you be having if I did? Good God. Can't please you no matter what I do, can I? God.
How far up in the Great Power Tree are you?
I'm not on the tree yet.
Really?
I've been oscillating back and forth on that tree at various times, but I'm not there yet. I'm pretty sure once I embrace the institution I will be, but that costs money, which I need. I don't have.
Money is pretty valuable.
It is. But yeah, no, things are going well. I felt that was time. Delhi was also at war with them, trying to claim Saklava. I went
I
into their
saw.
chat and said, "Get out," and they did. So they listen well. I'll keep that in mind, and I'll try to be accommodating to their needs in the future.
When the Emperor speaks, Delhi listens.
Well, the Emperor doesn't speak to be a jerk. The Emperor speaks because he needs something, and if if you are in his way, he will get what he wants. But he'll always be willing to try to accommodate you and make amends in the future. So
How very diplomatic of you.
The Emperor doesn't try to be demanding just for the sake of it. So.
But how about this whole the Emperor protects?
I mean, that's true. The Emperor does. So, as much as they can. But I am not a god, and don't you dare try it insinuate I am one, sir. How dare you?
I wouldn't do
Enough of
such
this
a thing.
heresy.
Sigmar isn't the God Emperor yet. I mean,
Well,
HRE
that's
isn't
not-
the God Emperor yet.
I mean, the God Emperor isn't Sigmar either, but okay.
No, I know.
Mordred, don't get the channels crossed like that. It's very dangerous work. Can't do that. All right, but we're good to go.
Yep, cool. Let's do this. How close is Austria to integrating Hungary? That is an excellent question. 0%. Although I suspect that they could probably already do it diplomatically. That's the thing, right? So I'm going to preface this saying I don't play the dynastic game. I have no idea how dynastic integrations and royal marriages and all that stuff works. Like, this is one of the very, very few things I've just never done. I guess I have to click on Austria first, and then click on Hungary. That would have helped. Then... Oh, they're doing it already. Well, there you go. It's begun. Although he has no Diplo points, so it's not actually progressing at all. But it's sitting at 35.9%. There you go. Alright, so Hamburg is once again at war, this time with Verden and Alsace. Let's take a quick look at the aggressive expansion. Things seem to be relatively safe. Würzburg and Anhalt being a little bit upset. Munster being very, very upset. Munster not liking that they are munching away at other people. But I'm sure they'll get over it. Prussia also at war, also against Verden. Probably helping out Hamburg. I'm guessing that they are offering to pay subsidies to the Prussians in exchange for their assistance. Because Hamburg is far better set up for earning money, and then Prussia is far better set up for fighting. Which is the kind of agreement I had with Tirhut with Jaunpur. No, Delhi. In the previous multiplayer. And the mighty Tirhut still owned by Hindustan. Right, that was the thing I was going to do. I was going to start talking about all of the victory points and who controls what. So there are 7 victory points scattered around the world. Gotland is one of them. Gotland is currently not owned by anybody. They're guaranteed by Sweden. They're allied to Sweden, but Sweden has not yet gone after them. And I do wonder if Sweden's trying to do this diplomatically. Let's take a quick look. Offer vassalization. Not even close. No, I think that they would need to do that militarily. I know at one stage Gotland was allied to Great Britain, but apparently that agreement has been cancelled. Next up, we've got Gelre over here in the Netherlands, owned by the Netherlands, most appropriately. Then we've got the Knights, owned currently by the Ottomans, though for the longest time the Knights nation was a march under the Ottomans, but have since been annexed. So those are the 3 European ones. Then we've got Tortuga over here in the Caribbean, currently owned by Great Britain, though Spain clearly having a couple of their own ideas about what's going on over here. Then we have got Vatamandri in Madagascar. I was like, what country is this again? Vatamandri in Madagascar, now taken over by Austria. So this is the one that's been independent for the... No. I was going to say it's been independent for the longest, but that's not true. That's Gotland. So Vatamandri is now taken. Then we've got Tirhut up here in India, now taken by Hindustan. And then finally, and I'm hoping that this is 7, we have Tsushima over here, which have been taken by Japan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And each of those victory points is chosen because this is a important area for this channel. Like, I have played a big game in one of those areas. So is the 7th point, yes. So I had the game, the Crusader Kings 2 into Europa Universalis IV into Victoria 2 Grand Campaign, starting out as the County of Gotland. So that is probably one of the most important ones. Then Gelre, because it's Gelre, it is Gelderland, which is where I'm actually from. And also I did the Dutch campaign, playing as Kelra, where I made something like 10,000 ducats a month. It was kind of crazy. Then we've got Tortuga, which is actually wrong. It should be Jamaica, but I didn't want to have too many single islands, so I thought I'd put it in Haiti instead. So that is Tortuga. Then we've got Batamandri down here, which was from the Betsimisaraka campaign, which to this day I would say is one of my favourite campaigns. And actually, when I'm requesting keys from various games companies and saying this is an example of my content, I use the Betsimisaraka campaign as an example of what I do. Then we have got Tirhut, obviously probably one of the most famous regions in the Mordred Viking channel from the multiplayer game that I played as Tirhut, and that is probably my favourite EU4 game, full stop, ever. That was so much fun playing as them and trying to survive in the Indian Thunderdome, and I did. Tirhut was never conquered. And then finally, we have So, or the island of Tsushima, which is the pirate daimyo. If you want to play as a pirate in Japan, they actually have an event in the first, 3 years of the game to become a pirate republic, and they are still a daimyo, so they are the pirate daimyo, which was a lot of fun, trying to take down the might that is Ming, and basically using the Bank of Ming to become incredibly wealthy. If you want to play a pirate republic and you want to have a fun game, I would recommend So. They're good. Is there a place where the goals are listed? There's the sign-up sheet, and then there's also the Discord where I think they are listed. So those 7 victory points are some of them. We then also have income. So the top 3 nations in terms of the amount of income that they are generating will gain points. So if you are in first place, you gain 4 points. If you're in second, you gain 2. If you're in third place, you gain 1. So right now, the Ottomans would get the 4, Hindustan would get 2, and then Ajam would get the 1. Then next up, we have military rating. Military was a bit of a more difficult one to work out, because I didn't want to do it on force limits, because then the large countries would get that. I didn't want to do it on quality, because then countries like Prussia would just lock that one down. So I did it on military rating. So if you have the top 3 military ratings, then you'll get it. So the Ottomans are in first, Hindustan is in second, Iran is in third. Although I know that Iran and Russia are constantly overtaking each other. And it looks like Ajam is up here. Ajam is actually surprisingly good for this type of thing. Interesting. Then after that, we have got size of navy. So the nation with the largest navy gets this. So the Ottomans are in first place. Almost double over their force limit, which is kind of crazy. So they are in first. Papal States, though, taking on the same idea as given them by the Ottomans, coming in second, and then Great Britain in third. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Britain hasn't just been dominating this throughout the entire game, although actually Portugal and Spain have the higher force limits, which is kind of interesting. So that's those. Then we have got total development. Oh, not total development. We've got most developed province. So if we go to here and then sort by development, Constantinople right now is the most developed province in the entire world. So they would get the 4 points. Ulm coming in second, and this is where Ulm has been sitting on the scoreboard. And then the Inca. Those 3 have really been in the running for the largest city. Rome used to, consecutively, were the largest, but they have seemingly fallen behind a little bit in this game. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that Milan hasn't been keeping up. Milan probably actually being one of the easiest places to develop in the entire game, purely thanks to Milan's ideas, which gives them a development cost reduction of 10%. Plus, of course, it's farmland, plus they probably have economic ideas. It just doesn't cost them very much to develop. And also, it's a very, very small nation, so limited uses for the monarch points. And it's a republic, which means they can get even more monarch points. Milan's just this perfect building tool nation. If you want to build tool in the game, play as Milan. Or Tuscany, though Milan does it a bit easier. So Tsushima allows you to become a pirate ninja. Yeah, basically. And then the final way of earning points is the Great Powers. If you are the greatest power in the world, then you get 4 points. Second, Hindustan will get 2, and then Iran will get 1. As things stand, of course, things can switch around, particularly as institutions are embraced. And Iran is playing a bit of a catch-up game here, as they were a couple of institutions behind last session, but they seem to be just 1 now. And that's probably going to be printing press, I'd a guess. No, they have printing press. They have colonialism. It is, in fact, colonialism that they... Oh, no,